Gruul Tokens is a deck you don't usually see in Pauper, but this person, by the username of Agua Tonificada, actually went ahead and did a 5-0 run with this deck, which I think is absolutely sweet. They are playing Sprout Swarm with this deck, along with the Impact Tremors and Mysidian Elder combination, which I think is very nice. They're obviously playing the Kalni Gardens in the mana base to create more tokens. They even have the Cloakwood Swarmkeeper here, which we played a couple days ago in Mono Green Stompy. It was pretty awesome. 4 lightning bolts for some removal and or finishing of the opponent, and many partings for a total of basically 23 lands if we consider this a land cycler. It obviously does create a food, which is great with the Swarmkeeper. I really like the Sprout Swarm along with the Tremors, and they are even playing 2 Essence Wardens, since obviously you can buy back the Sprout Swarm, making it a repeatable non-creature spell, which works amazingly with the Elder as well. And they are playing the Molten Gatekeeper for a total of 6 effects of Impact Tremors. Obviously you will be creating a lot of tokens, and again I think the Sprout Swarm is sort of a centerpiece. They're going for Malevolent Rumble 2, obviously more tokens, more Eldrazi, and for Nest Invaders, I think basically for the same reason. And the card I find very interesting in this deck is Glimpse the Impossible, which I'm not sure how often you will play for the exiling the top 3 and how often will you actually play it just to get the 0-1 spawns. I'm thinking it will be like 50-50, obviously we will see the games. And then the top of the curve is Writhing Chrysalis, because I mean this card is just so good, right? It does create the tokens, it works well with the Swarmkeeper, and it does create 3 creatures for the Sprout Swarm, so it's basically like everything you could ever want. 1 turf in the mana base as well. This is pretty nice. You could return the gardens if you really wanted more tokens, which can turn into more damage, and they are playing 3 Bristling Backwoods, which I think is pretty cool as well. So this deck seems to be really aggressive at its core. Now if we take a look at the sideboard, for red Elemental Blasts, amazing against High Tide and Terror. I think decks like Mono Blue Tempo will be a pretty difficult matchup. Maybe Fairies will be as well, and Cast into the Fireplace into that a little bit more. Great not only against all the bridges but also against Fairies and Elves. 2 more Essence Wardens, obviously pretty important against decks like Burn. 2 Weather the Storm again against Burn, and full 4 Relics of Progenitus against the Dredges and the Spy, again very important. I don't think there is a graveyard synergy with this deck. I think only the Gatekeeper, which we can play around pretty well. So let me know what you think about this deck. I personally think it's really sick, and we will test it in the games. Game number 1 here, we go against Aubrey, and we can keep this one. We have double red source, which is quite excessive, but we have turn 2 Rumble into turn 3 Chrysalis if possible. They go Drossforge Bridge, could be Wildfire. We will start things off with the Kalni Garden. They go another Drossforge Bridge, so no Wildfire turn 2. Pretty good for us, since they can't match the Chrysalis and play it before we do. We could go many partings, but I think I will go for Kalni Garden instead. Sorry, Malevolent Rumble instead, so that we can turn 3 Chrysalis. Find another one too. Find Impact Tremors as well. I definitely want to Chrysalis next turn, so we will, I guess, go back-to-back Chrysalises, right? Pick up this guy, and we will say go here, no attacks. Go for a Wellspring, could be like Grixis Affinity now that I think about that. It still could be Giant Wildfire, it could also be just Rakdos. We've seen some Rakdos control decks in the meta game in the last week. Okay, Bristling Backwoods, nobody's is at 13 life. I mean, no, I'm mistaking it for the land from Duskmourn. This one is just a tapped land which deals 1 damage. Okay, we can go for Mountain and go for the Chrysalis actually, and no attacks. I do think the Sprout Swarm will be nice pretty soon. We can also go Glimpse the Impossible soon as well. They go Fanatical Offering the Iker Wellspring. By the way, guys, someone is drilling a wall behind me. I don't know why, it's morning, but they do, so hopefully you guys won't be able to hear that. I really hope not. Very interesting looking land. I've never seen this one before from Brothers War. Okay, they go Wildfire, so this is Jund probably. They just had a little bit of a slower start, it looks like. Okay, Nest Invader. This is all good. I think we will just play the Chrysalis first, and we will just attack, and we actually can play the Sprout Swarm, right? We can tap this guy for green, and that's the only green we need. Then we can just buy back the Sprout Swarm. This is sick, I like it. They go Wellspring. We are obviously very afraid of Shaman Analysis, right? They play Crypt Incursion. This is different. You don't usually see this, but sometimes you do, like 1 copy. They go inside, probably digging for a Shaman, so we need to be fast. They go Slagswood Bridge. Yeah, we definitely need to be fast. They go Refurb. That's a blocker. What are we discarding this turn? I think it might be many partings, I believe. Yeah, probably right. And we will end step, cast with buyback. We'll pay for green with this one, and then I almost sacrificed those guys. We will play it like that, like that, like that, and like that. That's a free 1/1 right there. Definitely not complaining. That's awesome. Okay, find a Missidin Elder, which is pretty powerful actually. So we can go Glimpse the Impossible, but that doesn't work this turn. So we can go Nest Invader. Let's count the damage, shall we? So this is 2, this is 4, this is 5, and we will add 4 to each of that. So that would be 6, 12, 13. If we play the Nest Invader first, that's 15 damage, and 16 with the backwoods. That's pretty good. You can find a bolt and just finish them off if you want to. There's a possibility we want to play this a little bit different though. We could play the Elder and start doing the Sprout Swarm thing all over again. Let's play the backwoods. We could actually start sacrificing and play Glimpse the Impossible. I'm very afraid of Shaman though, that's the thing here. Okay, I think we will attack first. He'll actually block the Chrysalis, they're afraid. Okay, then we just let it go. And do we go for the Elder? We could play the Sprout Swarm. We could go for a huge Glimpse as well. But we are afraid of Shaman and we are pressuring them really well, I think. So let's just go for the Elder and chill. Obviously Toxin is very good against us now, along with the Shaman. Looks like they will dig some more trying to find the combination. They go Offering. They will cast down the Writhing Chrysalis. Nothing we can do about that, that's fine. They go Refurb again. I wonder, they don't seem to be having the Shaman then. You can just discard a Nest Invader, probably. Combat. And then step, we will buy back Sprout Swarm again. We almost could do it again. I think we are 1 mana off. It's pretty cool. Okay, end step. And many partings, which we can cast. That's a free land, right? Free damage. We will pick up a forest, definitely. Play it. And then I guess we can go for a huge swing here. With Glimpse the Impossible, so I guess we will just do 1 and 2. He will always yield. We will do this before combat if we find like a bolt or something. Let's Glimpse. Look at that. Nest Invader, Essence Warden, Impact Tremors. We like, I think, all of this. Let's go Tremors first, obviously. And I think we can do the rest afterwards if they have like a cast down. So this is 3 damage from the Tremors and maybe even a little bit more from the Sprout Swarm. I think this is how we want to attack. Okay, they just block the Chrysalis, fair enough. Probably cast down something. Oh, they will Eviscerate us inside the Refurb. Okay, so first let's go Essence Warden, which will trigger the Tremors. We have no green now, that's not ideal. But this is 2 damage from the Sprout Swarm. Did I tap wrong somewhere in the process? I don't think so, we just may have only a few green sources here. Maybe I did tap wrong. Maybe I cast like Impact Tremors for green and I didn't notice. Yeah, so, but at least we will make an Eldrazi spawn, which is nice. And we can go for a Sprout Swarm again. So we will create a 0/1. Which actually triggers both of these. That's even better. Okay, 5. They go Refurb. It's very annoying. So first we will Sprout Swarm. We will cast that with buyback. We will go 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we will either let them draw a card or cast the Sprout Swarm again. I think I will let them draw a card here, which deals 1 more damage because of the Tremors, and they will go to 1. But they will draw from the Refurb. And obviously Shaman is very powerful against us. Maybe Writhing Chrysalis of their own. Could be a Nyxborn Hydra too, but I think it's maybe Writhing Chrysalis. They go Pulse of Murasa, returning the Refurb, okay. Casting down the Writhing Chrysalis, okay. And here's a Shaman, which could be pretty awesome against us, not gonna lie. They instantly pop that. We have no... Okay, we could just crack the food. So the Elder is here only. Pretty good for them. They bog us too. Glimpse is good. Very good. I think I want to go like... maybe just like this instead. We play a lot of green cards. Let's go Glimpse. Gruul Turf, Cloakwood, Swarmkeeper, Kalni Garden. Okay, let's attack for 1 first. Let's run the Swarmkeeper. And we either run the Turf or the Garden. I don't think it matters. We definitely want to play the Garden at some point, and I think the best time is probably now. So let's run the Garden. It puts a counter on the Swarmkeeper and deals 1 damage. Still, we are far behind. And that's right, we create more Eldrazi spawns, which is so good with this card actually. We go Refurb, which means a free draw. Pretty OP card. Writhing Chrysalis. And Blood Fountain. Pretty great. I need to draw some really good cards here. Like a Lightning Bolt would be awesome. Okay, they actually let us for 2. Writhing Chrysalis, I would say, is awesome because we can kill them if it goes through. So let's try and play that. They will discard draw, trying to really find something that would help them. Do they find it? We win the first game because of the Impact Tremors. An MVP of this game, Impact Tremors. Let's see what can we do in the sideboard. Looks like nothing. They don't want to go to a second game. So Giant Wildfire, a tier 1 deck, we made them rage quit. I'm not complaining. Let's go to the second game. Shadow will be the next opponent. We do go first. And the hand is pretty incredible, actually. I like this a lot. We can definitely keep this one. We'll go Forest into Swarmkeeper. Turn 2 could be Garden. It could also be Mountain Impact Tremors. It really depends what are they doing. If we can afford to go for Impact Tremors, I would love to. We can also go turn 3 Impact Tremors, right? Looks like, okay, maybe Elves. Walls. That's a hard matchup. Many partings. Alright. We can go big really fast, I think. So we can go Colony Garden. We just need to be faster than them, right? Like, that's the whole premise of this. And people go many partings. Just trying to buff up the Swarmkeeper so that we can raise them as soon as possible. And I think this might be a mountain, right? We already have 3 green sources. Let's pick up a mountain. Okay, hit them for 3. Next turn will be weird though, because I need to probably play the mountain, right? Unless I want to skip the Tremors, but I don't think that's a good idea. They go Land or Elves. Could this be Elspy or something? Overgrown Battlement? Probably just regular walls, right? Okay, Mountain. I'm not the biggest fan of this. They can block with this if we don't Garden. So I think we might skip the Impact Tremors here and just... Because this is 4 damage, right? Impact Tremors isn't worth the 4 damage. We can also crack the food if nothing else, but that's not ideal, of course. The thing about walls that's really hard to deal with is if you are not playing black, they can just run you over because lightning bolts don't really work against their best things. Like the Battlement, for example. It's so good. But bolts, for example, don't really work against that. We hit them for 4. We could also play it really slow and set up with Tremors next turn. It really depends what we draw, I think, because we could go like Tremors and maybe Nest Invader. We could Tinder Wall, so it's definitely walls. I just don't know if they're playing like a Spy or something. They go Winding Way. Let's see what they get. Oh, Drift. Oh, that's gonna be fast. Just need a way to find, well, I think we're dead soon. Leaf Caller, okay. They're just faster because they find Drift and they can just transmute the Drift and find Freed from the Real and then we die, right? I would say that combo decks are probably the worst matchup for this deck, and there aren't so many combo decks in the metagame right now. We just been a little unlucky with the walls. I played against the Gaunt combo before. The matchup was virtually impossible. Just needed to find the Lightning Bolt. Swarmkeeper. I think that's just... I mean, next turn we probably lose, depending on what they do. But I could see going for Tremors plus Swarmkeeper. I don't hate that. But again, this is a 5/5, which is a lot of damage. They could also block with the Leaf Caller if they want to. So we either play the Chrysalis. We could also play Swarmkeeper plus Chrysalis, which I think is the best course of action, to be honest. Wait, we couldn't. Oh, that was bad. We couldn't. I thought we have 5 mana, we don't. That was bad. Okay, let's attack for 4 anyway. If I knew, I probably would have played the Chrysalis. Or at least play it in the different order, right? Let's see if the 1 damage matters. I really hope it won't go down to 9. But I think they just have us no matter what, right? They can drift onto the battlement. Yeah, I mean Freed from the Real, not drift. Let's see if they have a win condition in their hand. Could be like a Nyxborn Hydra or something. Probably is. They do cast the Storm Shriek Feral, which I think should be lethal, right? Yeah, it gains +1/+0, which is infinite damage. Let's concede. Let's go to game 2. What's the best? Okay, Red Elemental Blast is really good. Like, seriously good. Relic doesn't matter. Essence Warden, does it matter? No, it doesn't. Cast into the Fire could be somewhat decent, actually. So, I think we can get rid of some Rumbles, maybe. Bring Blasts. We definitely want more Blasts, even. So, get rid of... I mean, I don't love the Rumbles, since all the things we need are non-creature spells, so they don't necessarily help. And I don't love the Essence Wardens. I don't think they are very important against walls. We will bring double cast to just deal with the pesky 1-drops. Although a lot of them, like the Caretaker, have 3 health, so it could be quite difficult. Okay, I think this should be enough with the 4 bolts. Hopefully it will be. We go first. Let's see what we find. We find Cast into the Fire, Swarmkeeper, fast hand. Not many answers though. But I think since we are going first, this is still somewhat playable. I hope at least, right? Let's try this one. Let's try it. Maybe this is a mistake. So peep this. If we lose this game, it's probably because of the mulligan. We obviously have a lot of answers in the blasts and everything, but I want to try this one. If Cast into the Fire is useful in this matchup at all. Let's go Swarmkeeper. We can turn to Garden again. We can also Cast into the Fire if you really want. We go Tinderwall. Doesn't doesn't do much. Problem is they can block again, which is like so bad for us. I think, okay, we can go many partings, which is good. And I think we will pick up a, is it a mountain? I think it is, right? Which, okay, now they can't block. That's ideal. And if they play a 4 toughness creature, we can finish it with Cast into the Fire, and we will go Colony Garden. It's time for attacks. Turn for Chrysalis is definitely cool. I really hope Cast into the Fire can get some good value. Like if they play a 4-drop or something. A Winding Way, that's good. Let's see what they hit. Leafcaller, good target for cast. Shield Wall Sentinel, pretty awesome for them. And Scholar is a win condition for life win condition, which is hard to deal with. But anyway, okay, another many partings. I'm not mad at that at all. We can play this. Go for the many partings before attacks. We will hold up cast. Pick up now, I think it's probably, well, I think still Mountain, or they have enough green sources. Let's attack for 4. Say go. We go Elven Farsight. That's a good card. Do you really play Winding Way, Leader Stampede, and Farsight in the same deck? I guess you do. I guess you do. I'm not really familiar with walls like this. I've never seen Scholar of Atrios before. It takes 2 different colors to execute, which is kind of interesting as well. They go X-Bane Guardian. Cast into the Fire doesn't necessarily work against that, which is pretty bad. They go Crystal Grotto. Okay. Do you think they can like combo next turn? I hope not. Yeah, I really hope we can maybe find something like a blue blast, red blast rather. Okay, another mountain. Well, we'll just play the Writhing Chrysalis and hope for the best. Okay, hit them for 5. Next turn they kinda need to block and we have cast, so they probably like need to win this turn or they will start sacrificing creatures. There was an idea of, okay, Wall of Roots. There was an idea of holding Cast into the Fire, but it's just too slow. 3 mana, 4 mana for Shield Wall Sentinel. Okay, let's see what they find. Maybe Drift, right? If they don't have Freed from the Reel yet. Okay, sweet. Find the Colony Garden. Sadly, I really want to Cast into the Fire, so I think we need to play the Mountain here. Yeah, that's for sure. We really want to play the Mountain. But do we even need Cast into the Fire is the question. They kinda need to double block, or at least block with one of these guys, right? Anyway, so this could be a 7/7. And their blocks, is the Cast into the Fire going to be good? Well, if they block, I mean, this is always at least a 4/4, so it doesn't really make sense, I feel like. We could still hold it up though. We could still hold it up. I will go Mountain this time and run the Writhing Chrysalis. If they play like the Leafcaller, which we know they have in the hand, this could be quite good. Let's attack with those guys. They can leave the Chrysalis and go through with that. It will be only 6 damage. They can block just one thing. They will. Okay, well, let's see if you have us. Go down to 6. Go for a Tinder Wall. Caretaker. Just building a wall. Is this freed from the Reel? Oh, I think we lost again. Oh yeah. Is there a way we can deal with this? I don't really think so. Okay, they go freed from the Reel and that's probably it, right? Let's see what we saw. We saw the Scholar, which is a 1/4. This exiles only an artifact. This is an enchantment. So I think they have us, right? Yeah, so they have us. And remember, like I said at the start, I think it's because of the mulligan. I think it's because of I didn't keep the right cards and Cast into the Fire isn't that good. Of course, it does kill the Leafcaller and the Llanowar Elves, but that might not be enough. Alright guys, welcome back to the conclusion, and you guys only have seen 2 games. A lot of people have rage quit. I don't want to show too many games where people have rage quit because it doesn't show the post sideboard games. But this deck was really fun. Very straightforward. You have some really bad matchups against combo decks or elves because those decks don't really care how grindy you are, but if you don't have the right removal at the right time, you simply just lose because they overwhelm you. But the grindiness with the Sprout Swarm is really here, and obviously the combination with the Elder and the Tremors and the Gatekeepers is really fun. This deck is really fun to play, I found, at least for me, and I do understand why it went 5-0 in the MTGO League, so I would absolutely recommend it. I am maybe a little bit more of a fan of the mono green version of the mono green tokens or mono green Stumpy, depending on which version you play and how you want to call it. I think mono green has some really good sideboard options as well. Obviously, you don't have access to the red blast, which is a big reason to play red, but you still get to weather the storms, you still get the relics, and you don't have to play the Cast into the Fire. You can play the oofs or the masked vandals instead, and they do basically the same job, right? But regardless, I think this deck is, yeah, really fun to play. It's really good. There's definitely some skill ceiling with the Sprout Swarm and knowing when and how to use it, since obviously you are spending 5 mana or tapping your creature for just a simple 1/1 Saprolink, so the timing is really important on this card. But now it's time for you to let me know what did you think about this deck, so leave a comment on how would you improve it, and I will see you soon. Have a great day and bye.